So now I will go ahead and turn the page horizontal so I can have a little bit more room. We have our Q, we have our P, we have our total revenue, we have our total cost now. We can still calculate our marginal revenue, but our new column that we'll be calculating is now marginal cost. Okay? So our quantities still stay the same from 0 to 5. Price did not change at all. Total revenue, remember this is P times Q. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50. Our total costs are given. So right here, $5. Right here, $9. Right here, $15, $23, $33, and $45. Remember, these total costs are already given. Do not ask where I got these from. They are just completely made up. You're probably going to ask, why do I have a total cost when I'm producing 0 units? Remember, total cost is a combination of fixed costs plus variable costs. Okay, so even though we don't have any variable costs that we are incurring because we're not producing anything, we still have to pay rent. We still have to pay administrative costs and things like that. So that's maybe where that $5 came from. Remember, with marginal revenue, it's just the change in TR divided by the change in Q. Remember, since we do not have a 0, since we have a 0 right here and we have nothing to compare it to, we will start off with the number 1 unit. And remember, all those were just $10. Our marginal cost is pretty much the same. We will only have a column of 5 rows as opposed to the 6 like everywhere else because it's marginal. It's adding that 1 more unit. Of course, we have nothing to compare the 0 unit to. So in order to calculate the change in total cost, we just subtract one from the other. So this would be 9 minus 5 divided by the change in quantity, which was just 1. So that gives me a marginal cost of what? $4. Okay? For right here, this will be 15 minus 9 divided by 1 again. So my marginal cost is 6. If you continue with this formula all the way down, this one will be $8, this one will be 10, and this one will be 12. Okay, so those are my marginal costs for this particular problem within this marginal analysis. In our marginal analysis, we can say that we want to produce where MR equals MC. And this is producing around 4 bowls within this scenario. We're looking at where MR equals MC. So at this point right here, our MR, our marginal revenue, also equals our marginal cost. Okay, so this at 4 units is our optimal point of production. Okay. Now, if we look at, say, producing 2 bowls, we can definitely do production right there, but all it's telling us is that we're bringing in a whole lot more money than it's costing us to make, okay? So if we produce at 2 or 3 units, we still have a little bit more money that's unaccounted for that we could possibly produce more and actually gain even more money, okay? So we always want to produce where MR equals MC. If we produce at 5 units, our marginal revenue, the revenue that we're bringing in from selling those bowls, is less than the marginal cost that it's taking us to make it. So we will say no to 5 units because MR is greater, it's less than MC. We will not at 5 units. At 2 units, MR is greater than MC, so we need to increase production. Okay, that's all I mean by that. Now for the next section, this is called incentive pay. I'm really not going to dwell too much within this section because this is basically letting you know that as a business owner, you have the choice on whether to implement incentive pay or not to your employees. Always remember that if you do this, just be fair with it, things like that. That's basically what section 4.4 and 4.5 are talking about always remain fair whenever you do actually implement incentive pays, etc. Now then, for our assignments, assignment number 1, I will go ahead and go over a few of these with you. So for number 1, how to calculate economic profit. Okay, let me pull up the actual question so I can actually go by the correct verbiage. So assignment number 1, let's see. All right. So a business owner makes 1,000 items a day. Each day she spends 8 hours producing those items. If hired elsewhere, she could have earned $250. This item sells for $15 each. Production occurs every 7 days, 7 days a week. If the explicit costs total $150,000 per month, what is her economic profit? All right, so economic profit, of course, considers explicit costs and implicit costs, okay? Now, in order to find out how to calculate economic profit, this is pretty easy. It's total revenue